um, important, important. Okay, and these are urgent, urgent. So what he says is on the quadrant 1 are the things that are important and urgent, right? Okay, I'm sorry, important, not important. Not urgent. So this is important and urgent. This is important and not urgent, all right? And this is the most important quadrant. These are important, not urgent, right? These are not important, not urgent. And these are not urgent, not important. Okay, so what this means is that, for example, Christmas shopping time. If I had procrastinated and I didn't do any of my shopping, those are things that are important and urgent. So on the 24th of December, I'll be this is the most stressful quadrant, right? When it's important and it's urgent. When people didn't take care of their health, they didn't plan their days, and time goes by, and then they have a heart attack because their cholesterol is so high, because they never took care of their health. That's important and that's urgent, all right? So these are things that you must take care of, but you didn't plan before. You didn't take time on your quadrant 2 to take care of your quadrant 1. So quadrant 1 are usually things that you have to do. You have very little amount of time because you gotta get it done.
You didn't do it.
Exactly. I mean, you need to do them anyways, but with a stressful way, right? Not important and not urgent. I'm sorry, this is not important but urgent, okay? So I would say this is not important but urgent is usually like your email, all those things that suck up your time, such as text message, you know, like you're leaving and then someone interrupts you, bim, and then you have to check your chat.
And it's the sense that I have to answer right away, even though I don't.
The feeling
that's
of
when they
urgency when it's
use-
really not.
Right.
Correct.
Right,
So
okay.
that's when apps, that's the article that you read, they use this.
Right.
They make it feel as it's urgent,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really not important. You know, they send you notifications. Actually, I had to turn off the notifications on my phone.
Yep.
Text messages, because I want to check my messages when I have the time, when I can sit down and read my messages. Otherwise, it was an ongoing request for my attention.
Well, and that's the thing is we all have the mindset now that, oh my gosh, I have a text.
Yes.
It's like, okay.
Or I texted someone and they didn't answer me. What's wrong? Like,
Right.
so the implication is if I don't answer right away, that other person assumes something's wrong.
Correct.
That there,
Yeah.
you know, that there's a reason I'm not answering. It
Because
has,
everything
become
is,
that
we
urgent.
are
Right.
requesting instant gratification, which is dopamine. That's part of that chemical, is that they're making things feel urgent, but they really are not important.
so important to recognize.
Exactly. It's very important. Facebook, Instagram, all those social media, they use that. They make you feel like I need to do this, but it's really not important. And then not urgent, not important. This is another quadrant that you can spend time on if you plan, all right? So these are things like watching TV with your family. They're not important, they're not urgent, but you need to have some time there, right? You need to
Hobbies,
spend,
hobbies,
hobbies,
reading, yeah.
writing, things that make you happy. Maybe, you know, like even weaving or whatever you like to do. Yes.
gardening. Yeah.
Gardening. Oh my gosh. You know, those things that are not urgent, they're not important, but they are.
Right.
They really are for your well-being. You know, taking vacation, those things. What matters is that if you actually focus on this, the important but not urgent, it's when you are going to start disappearing this quadrant, because if you, I mean, this is never going to always disappear. It's as small as you can make it, right? If you focus on this, there's going to be less urgent things to take care of. If you take care of this, you're not gonna have time to do this, right? And if you do this, and you're gonna actually plan to have a certain amount of time to do this, right? Because to me, it's important to read every day. Like, I have to read, or else I feel like I didn't do what makes me happy. So I want to read at least 1 hour daily, minimum, okay? I have to plan. So this quadrant is about planning. If you want to give it a name instead of quadrant 2, is a planning. Is a quadrant for planning. That's it. If you plan your day, if you plan your week, if you plan your month and your year ahead, then you'll be, I mean, a year is a little too much, but I like to go for 3 months at a time and see what I need to do in a month. That's how I came up with this. And that's how people come up with their books. That's how, you know, you have to plan. You have to say, okay, I want to get my book ready in this amount of time, or I want to, you know, I want to help this person with her book, and it's going to take us this amount of time. And you have to plan for that, and you have to put time into it.
The thing that strikes me about this is it's so much like what you have to do at a job. And we're not translating those skills that we do at a job into our personal life. At a job, you take care of the most important thing first, right? The most urgent thing first. You plan out what you're going to do. That way, if something comes up that's a quadrant 4, you handle it, but you don't lose everything else. You handle it in the course of things. But this is exactly what most of us have to do at work, and we don't do that in our personal lives.
Correct.
Where we prioritize, this is important, even if it's unpleasant, get it done out of the way, and then I can do the fun stuff.
Right.
I was just having a conversation with Logan, with my son, my 17-year-old son, about stuff like this, and about the fact procrastination is not a good thing, and explaining to him how he would not have had to feel the stress and the urgency that he was feeling had he handled it
before.
Yeah, but it's funny because I didn't think about it in this way. And when you put it, it's just
makes
it just
it so
all
much, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's true. The thing about doing this a job, if we know we got to do this at our works, because if we don't do it, we either get fired or we go broke. You know, if it's your own business, it's not gonna.
Exactly.
You have to do it. In your own life, there are no consequences like that. You know, there are consequences, but we cannot picture them.
We don't see them as the same. We see the job, the work is the more important.
Yeah.
Really.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really not, it's more important to take care of your life, and then everything else is going to take care of itself. Tony Robbins has a very, very interesting way to put this quadrant. He has a program that's called RPM. It's called Rapid Planning Management. And I like the way he puts it because I think it's more visual, it's easier to understand, but it's basically the same principle. So it's kind of like a bullseye. And so these are areas of your life. And so this is all about the planning. So this would be quadrant 2, planning. And if you spend most of your time on this part, right? Everything else is kind of like a wave in the water. Everything else takes care of itself. But if you spend more time on this quadrant or this other quadrant, which is a circle, obviously this is the area of stress. Like the farther out you are, the more stress you feel, right? So, I mean, I like this because then it makes you see very, very simple in your head, okay, I need to focus more on my planning. And if you understand that, then everything else becomes a lot easier. So, what do we do from here? You understand that this is not just about life. When we're here to talk about healthy living, so it is important to spend time on this and create a calendar and create an agenda that incorporates your healthy lifestyle, whichever way you want to do it. Gardening is part of it. It's physical work. It's kind of like it puts you in a mindset that it's connected to nature, earth, and the universe, I believe, in a very special way. Gardening is a very, very holistic way to stay healthy, really. But you really need to allocate time to do certain things, whatever healthy means to you. I do believe as a personal trainer that having at least 30 minutes of exercise every day is going to make you live a better life in the long run. And if you don't plan those things, what happens is that then you're going to end up with, with problems with your knees or diabetes, or, there's a lot of things that happen to people's bodies if they don't take care of their health. And that doesn't have anything to do with weight issues. I mean, a lot of my clients, like I said, they come to me because, they tell me they want to lose weight, but to be healthy, it doesn't have anything to do with weight. It has to do with taking care of your life and your health and your nutrition and just being focused on those things. So planning for those incorporates planning for cooking. How much time do you have on your day? So if you look at your calendar, if you do have a calendar, you're going to see all the things that you have throughout the week. Allocate those things. So I wanted to show you my calendar. And you guys can pass it around. So when I talked about the roles of your life, you guys use Google Calendar? Or
I do, but I recently had a problem with it, and it didn't alert me of things. So now I went back to
your
write down, because this isn't gonna backfire.
It took me a long time to switch to digital because I really like to see it.
Yeah, well, and I guess it's it's available when I don't have to
whenever you want it. Yes, yes. And I feel like the phone has so many other things inside that it's like.
Well, the problem, exactly. You turn on the phone and you go for one thing, and you end up doing 5 other things on there.
And then you're like, what was I looking for?
Right.
I wanted to see my calendar.
Oh, we don't relate to that at all. We don't relate to that at all.
So I agree with you. I mean, go for paper if you can. The thing about, and what I like about Google, and the reason why I'm using it right now, but you can definitely do it in your calendar, and it's very crafty, and I loved it, is the fact that you can color code your roles. So when I work, and for me, because I have my own business and I have hours when I train people and then hours when I do my boot camp, and then in between I can go home and cook and, kind of like I have these times in between. For me, it was very important to have a visual of what I needed to do, what it meant to me. So when I work, I am a trainer and a coach, but I call it a life changer.
I love that.
And so I love to help people change their lives. So I am a life changer, and that is my green time block. So this is green, and it pays me too. So it's kind of like the color of money. So, but whatever your job role is, allocate, give it a color, and then so I would say trainer. I'm just gonna call it life changer. It's gonna be green. When I am a super mom, it's pink because I have girls, right? But if you have boys, you can make it blue. If you have both, you can make it, what is pink? Yeah, purple. There you go.
There you go.
If you are, like to me, every role, when I write, when I read is purple. For me, it's like personal growth. It's, so every role has a different meaning. I do some housekeeping, and then I also want to allocate some time for my husband, even though it's kind of like it's the same and it's being a super mom, a super wife, but I do want to make sure I put time just for him. And at least once a week I want to do something with him, either have lunch or watch a movie or go a date night. Exactly. I mean, you must do it. And if I plan my week and I don't see any yellow, that means I haven't done anything with my husband, and I have to make sure I find some time for that. So with my husband is yellow, right? So this is what my calendar, this was when I did this picture was months ago. So I was doing this purple was a training that I was taking online, so I wanted to make sure I would do it 2 hours a day. But other than that, the green was training my clients or my boot camp, and then the pink, it's when I was a super mom in the morning, which also when I did this, it made my life so much easier because I'm not in a rush. Like this is the time I dedicate 100% to them, for them to have healthy breakfast, to sit down, have my coffee with them, to get their lunch ready, to make sure they're ready for school, and so on. It's just for them.
But the great thing is when you're in that role or some of the other roles, it's for them and you're devoting that time, but you're getting so much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's a whole.
Yes, definitely, because it feeds your energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree with you. So you're doing it for them, but you're really getting a lot out of it. Because it means something to you.
Right.
If it didn't mean anything,
Then
it's all
it
about
doesn't matter.
meaning,
Yeah.
right? So those are the things that are important. So if you have a calendar like that, and there are certain things that you know you have to do every week, maybe you don't want to call her like every single week, because that's going to be like another part-time job to do that on your calendar. But maybe you can create one weekly calendar when you say, if it's pretty obvious that you have the same things every day, for people who have a job that is from 9 to 5, it's very easy to have the same schedule. However, people who have kids, who have games and activities at 9, it changes, especially I have a lot of friends and their kids have games, and it changes every week. But knowing that you have to get those 30 minutes of exercise every day, and it could be a stretching, it could be yoga, it could be whatever you like to do and brings you joy and you look forward to it. Like, I couldn't do Zumba for I just couldn't get myself to move to the right and move to the left. But for a lot of people, that's what they love to do. And if that's what makes you happy, I have a friend, my best friend, she came to my class, and she did it. She's like, it's like I have to do it, and I have to do it, I have to do it. Until one day I'm like, do you like to do it? She's like, not really. I'm like, what do you like to do? And she's like, I really like dancing. And I'm like, well, you gotta find this is not serving you.
Right.
I am giving this service to people who like this kind of workout. But I love my friend, and I told her, I can give you some other ideas.
Well, if you don't like it, if you don't like the workout that you're doing, you don't want to do it.
And you're not gonna stick with it.
Right.
For the
And
long
it's
run.
changing the have to want to.
Right.
As soon as you have to do something, it's got a negative connotation for you.
Right.
But if you can switch it to a want to,
Correct.
it
just
changes your whole
everything.
outlook and goes back to that positive outlook you were talking
Absolutely,
about.
absolutely. And you're so right, is that you really have to find something that works for you. And I don't get hurt, someone comes to me and they're like, well, I tried your class and, it's really not for me. I am totally up for that, and I'm willing, because I want to change this person's life. It's not about me, it really is about them. So I help them. I'm like, try this or try that. And I sent my friend to a Zumba class. She's like, it was just too much on the other side. I want something in the middle. So she ended up doing some kickboxing with music. She loves it. She's been doing that for like a year and a half, and she looks forward to it. So find something that you like, but do it and commit to it. All right? So like I said, if it's only 30 minutes a day, it's only 30 minutes a day. That's all you get. That's fine. If it's 1 hour and you can only do 3 days a week, commit to that. Commit to 3 days a week and do it. But the important part about exercise is, as much as you need to move and stand up, and those things are important, is because we are aging every single day of our life. Since we are born, we start aging, right? We grow, and then to age gracefully,